Hello, this is Jockin, coach of the San Francisco Cinderace, and today I will be doing my Week 9 battle replay, our final match of the season, against the Mighty Psyducks. Like I stated in my team builder, I have a couple of good matchups. My Grimmsnarl, my Aegislash, my Cinderace all have good matchups, but his Crawdaunt and Surfetch'd were his two big things I said that would give me trouble, and the Surfetch'd is not here. So that's something good right off the bat, but then it's countered by the fact that he brought Colossal and probably has Stealth Rocks. I didn't bring Heavy Duty Boots Cinderace. I didn't bring Core Change because I didn't think he was going to bring Stealth Rock. So that was a big uh-oh right off the bat. Otherwise, he brought pretty much what I expected. Expecting Choice Bandit Crawdaunt, Choice Scarf Gardevoir, maybe Weakness Policy on the Lapras. We'll see how it goes though. Let's get right into the battle. I'm going to be leading with my Raichu. And he starts with Gardevoir. Now, unfortunately, it traced my Lightning Rod, and the only move I have that's not electric is Surf, so I'm going to have to hard switch and take whatever he wants to throw at me. But Aegislash is my answer because a Shadow Sneak one-shots it, but he switches out into Colossal, so I need to get out of there. I don't want to take pretty much anything other than a rock move Colossal's going to throw at me. So we're going to go into Vaporeon, and he Flare Blitzes. So that, seeing that he is Flare Blitzed, that makes me think a little more on the side that he might not be carrying rocks, but I still don't want to get optimistic, so I'm going to Scald. The Lapras is at full health, so it's not the biggest deal in the world scalding it. We're going to Wish, see what it wants to do. It's going to Thunderbolt. Now, the fact that the Thunderbolt only did 30 was about what I expected, because I'm very specially defensive. That's what I expected. It's going to tell me I'm going to take about 50 on a G-Max Thunderbolt, so it's something to keep in mind, but now that I know it is the Lapras set I thought he was going to bring, which is probably Surf, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and something else, I'm going to go right into Raichu, expecting him to Thunderbolt again. And we're going to get the Lightning Rod, so we're at +2 because we are Choice Specs, and we're just going to Volt Switch right back out. So Colossal's going to go down to half, and we're going to go straight into Vaporeon again. Because Lapras is still at full, I'm okay Scalding. I'm not giving it any health. I'm just losing a turn, and I get recovery from leftovers, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. So we're just going to Scald again and see what he wants to do. He goes into Vileplume, which it's probably a good switch on his end, and I'm thinking, what is the reason he brings in Vileplume? And the most likely things that came to mind is Sleep Powder and Toxic. And I'm looking at my team, I'm going, what can I let fall asleep? And in terms of things I'm using offensively, I'm not really using Vaporeon offensively. It's a switch in to take Aqua Jets, it's a switch in to burn Lapras turns, that sort of thing, or take a Flare Blitz from Colossal. I'm not using it offensively, so I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to leave it in, see what he wants to do, and we're just going to Ice Beam, see what we get. So we click Ice Beam, and we see we're faster, so he's not some weird speed invested set or anything like that, and we get him down to 26, and he Strength Saps, which I'm a little surprised he brought. I think he was expecting a switch into Cinderace, probably, try and heal himself back up. So not the worst prediction in the world, but it makes me feel a lot better not having Vaporeon asleep because I can Ice Beam again and almost kill him. So I'm going to Ice Beam, see if he goes for it again. He goes for Giga Drain, which does 30% to me, and gets him back to about 40 before Sludge. And he's right at 50, but my Ice Beams are doing about 60. So I'm looking at his team and thinking, what's he going to bring on an Ice Beam? Maybe a Lapras. But I'm just going to Ice Beam again, see if he leaves him in. He does not. So we're going to get the Freeze, which is very nice. Unlucky for him. I'm going to Wish. No, I Scald. Apologize. So, again, it's not the biggest deal in the world scalding the Lapras. It's at full health. I'm not healing it. While I can't burn it, I'm just basically giving myself some leftovers recovery. It's not ideal, but it's not bad in any scenario either. So I'm going to Wish. And that Thunderbolt's cutting it close if I want to stay in, especially if he G-Maxes. So I need to switch, and he makes the good call. He learned from the first interaction, Psychics the Raichu, but the Wish is going to heal me back up. And here, I figure he might stay in and try and do another Psychic, but he makes the right play, switches out into Gardevoir, and this is a problem for me. I tried to nuzzle something, but now I've given the Gardevoir a +1. So he's going to get a Calm Mind off on my switch, and I'm going to have to sack Vaporeon, which isn't great, because now Crawdaunt can come in and start Aqua Jetting for free. But my Aegislash has a 75% chance to one-shot this Gardevoir with Shadow Sneak, so that's what we're going to do, try and get it dealt with, and I luck out. I get the 75%. Colossal comes in, and I'm going to close combat because he's frozen. He's probably slower anyways, but I felt safe doing it. And now Dragapult comes in. So I'm at -1, and I'm in Blade form, so I'm definitely not going for an attack. I'm going to King's Shield so I can see what he wants to do. Because I have a couple options. If I think he's choice, then I can switch into Grimmsnarl if he goes for Dragon, or I can have something else try and tank a Ghost move. Excuse me. But he's going to go for Fire Blast. A good call on his end, and I'm going to switch out into Silvally to see if I can tank it. But I don't want the Silvally fighting the Lapras there. So the fact he switched does make me think he's probably choice specs on the Dragapult, and he didn't want to stick around. We're going to Volt Switch again, though. Just get out. We're going to chip the Vileplume down pretty low. Silvally's going to come in and get hit really hard. This was a stupid play on my end. Aegislash was a lot safer, but I didn't want Aegislash getting put to sleep, because I still don't know if it's carrying Sleep Powder, or, well, I guess he's not afraid of Toxic, but I didn't want Aegislash getting put to sleep. Still not a great play letting Silvally take that. I'm going to Psychic Fangs and pick up the kill on it here, but unfortunately I get paralyzed by the Effect Spore. Now the reason this sucks, Silvally's job is to get rid of Aurora Veil with Psychic Fangs, and now that I'm slower I would be taking damage guaranteed. So I need to switch out to try and keep him around and get rid of it. We're going to go back into Raichu and cross our fingers, see Thunderbolts even though it's unlikely, and he sets up the screens, which is an excellent call on his end, but I'm going to Nuzzle. The reason I Nuzzled and I didn't Thunderbolt, A, he's already got the screens up, so my Thunderbolt's not going to do much. And B, I want him paralyzed, because if we're both paralyzed, the Silvally and the Lapras, then I can outspeed him and get his Psychic Fangs off to clear the screens. So we're going to have to let Raichu go. Bring in the Silvally, and we're going to Psychic Fangs, but we get unlucky and get paralyzed, and he's going to set up Rain on his last turn. So this is kind of worst case scenario. A full health Lapras behind screens and in the rain with a Crawdaunt in the back. This is pretty darn scary. I'm going to go Grimmsnarl, because a paralyzed Lapras can't do much. Psychic doesn't hit me, Surf in the Rain is probably his best bet, but I'm just going to bulk up, see what I can get, and we luck out he gets paralyzed. So now I want to start doing damage. I'm going to Spirit Break, drop his special attack, and he gets paralyzed again. So we're getting real lucky with the paralyze there. So we're going to Spirit Break one more time, get him down to 0.5. He Ice Beams, and we get frozen. Now, this was a big deal in the moment, because Grimmsnarl can win the game. Once he gets a bulk up off, he one-shots all three things that are left. The problem is, I'm betting on Grimmsnarl thawing, because Fire Punch won't thaw me out. I don't want to switch, because that makes me lose my boost. So what's crossing my mind? I have the option of just staying, keep clicking Spirit Break and hoping I thaw. If he brings in Crawdaunt, my only hope is G-Max and hope I thaw, take a hit or two, and maybe kill the Crawdaunt, but then probably die to something else. So this is like worst case scenario. I could still theoretically win with Aegislash Cinderace, but it's going to be very hard. So I'd like Grimmsnarl to get unfrozen. I'm going to click Spirit Break, still frozen. Take a Thunderbolt very well because of the 0.5 special attack. We're going to have to click Spirit Break again and just hope. I can't risk clicking Sucker Punch as much as I want to, because if he brings in the Crawdaunt, I don't want to let it get in for free. So we're going to Spirit Break, stay frozen. We're going to Spirit Break again, take a Fire Blast. Does 40%, but we thaw. Just at the perfect moment, Grimmsnarl thaws out, comes to the rescue, and gets the Spirit Break. He's sashed, that's fine. We carried Sucker Punch just for this reason. We're going to clean him up. He brings in the Lapras, and at this health, we're going to Sucker Punch, clean him up as well. And once the Crawdaunt comes in, now that I've stalled out the rain, if I G-Max, my defense boost lets me live an Aqua Jet. And if he goes for anything else, I should be faster unless he's max speed. So I'm just going to click Max Fairy. We do not die to the Aqua Jet, and Grimmsnarl cleans up the game. The hero play, thawing at just the perfect moment. One more turn, I'd probably lose the game there. So that was storybook ending. Grimmsnarl to the rescue right there. But yes, that would be the end of the regular season. We finished 8-1. One loss to the LA Lucarios. Playoffs coming up soon. I believe our opponent, semifinals should be the Jacksonville Jolteon, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have a rematch of Week 8 against them. But thank you for watching. I will have the finals semifinals coming up should be next week, assuming everything goes according to plan. So, thank you for watching the regular season for the San Francisco Cinderace. I hope you stick around for finals.